So, what are some of the differences between digital diaries and planners and physical diaries and planners? So we're not just going to go digital diaries and then physical planners. We're going to actually give you the ins and outs of both of them, because I'm not saying that physical diaries do not have a place in education. I am never going to say that. But I'm going to hopefully present some reasons why a digital diary is something that you might like to consider. I'm not saying that you can use one or the other. You could use both of them if you wanted to. There is nothing to say that you can't do that. But I want to present you with a whole range of reasons so that you can make an informed judgment. Okay, the first reason why a digital diary is something great, we've talked about this. Most of the time, they are cloud-based and they're accessible on multiple devices. That is fantastic. So as I mentioned, I can go here from my desktop. I could go into my bedroom or my lounge room and I could grab on my Pixel. I could do all different kinds of things and I can access my diary on a range of different devices. So that's one reason why a digital planner is definitely something to consider. But on the other hand, a physical diary must be in the same location where you are in order to physically use it. So if you leave it at school, you leave it in your desk, that means that you aren't going to be able to use it at the particular time that you might require it. So just be aware that if we have a digital diary, we are able to access it basically anywhere, anytime. But if we have a physical diary, we need to make sure that that diary is with us. Otherwise, we can't use it. All right. So that's my first reason. I just want you to think about these because I just want you to actually think about some of the reasons, some of the differences between these two different platforms. Our next reason, and we've talked about this again, with a digital diary or planner, most of the time, again, depending on our platform, we can include multimedia. We can include links, videos, documents, pretty much anything that we might need for our particular lessons with our students. We can pop those into our particular planning platform, whatever we're using. On the other hand, though, when it comes to a physical diary, we're very limited. We're limited to those written notes. We could pop in printouts, we could pop in sticky notes, but we can't pop in those actionable, interactive, multimedia, clickable links, those videos from YouTube that we could embed. We can't pop in a Google Doc or some kind of Google product in there because it is a physical product. It is not a digital product. It is a physical product. So if we're using a physical diary, we are obviously limited to written notes, printouts, and sticky notes. Our third reason is that a digital diary or planner is easily editable. You can shift your lessons, you can duplicate them, you can do all kinds of things. If things happen, you're sick, you need to take a day off, if something is happening in terms of a cohort meeting or there's some kind of presentation, all right, I'm going to show you with Planboard how easy it is to shift a lesson to another day. All right, it is one of the big benefits of a digital lesson and a digital planner, being able to move that rather than having to write it out, cross it out, rewrite it in a new spot in a physical diary. Obviously, we've just alluded to this. If we have a physical diary and we do have changes, we have to make those manually. We have to cross out, we have to use the whiteout, we have to rewrite them. And if you were like me, I have very significant OCD when it comes to things that are written especially, all right? That would drive me mad, okay? That would drive me absolutely mad because it wouldn't be perfect. My wonderful friend Sarah Corder talks about the fact that we shouldn't focus on perfectionism, but it would drive me mad. And that is probably one reason why I have shifted away from physical diaries to digital diaries. Our next reason is that most of the time we can share information with our colleagues or casual teachers, which makes our lives so much easier. So if you have colleagues, you could share lesson plans with them. You could share it with casual teachers so that they are able to access that information very quickly. All right, getting a bit croaky there. I did mention that I had not been well, and I hope you probably can hear it, can't you? Another reason, all right, if we need to share something from our physical diary, we have to probably photocopy it. We probably have to leave the diary, hand it over to our casual teacher or our co-teacher. which is not the most effective means of using a particular diary like this. So have a think about the efficiency just here with a physical diary, especially if you have a team teacher or a co-teacher and you're being asked to share a diary so that you are on the same page. This might prevent you from doing some forward planning and popping information into your diary because maybe you have to leave it at school on the days that you aren't working. So just another consideration when it comes to the differences between digital and physical diaries. Often you'll find that our digital diaries will integrate with things like calendars, email, curriculum. All right. So you'll be able to embed and integrate a whole range of these different day to day products and processes and software applications that you might be using, which again is going to make your life so much easier because there's just one less place for you to go to access information. All right. But on the other hand, we can't do that when it comes to a paper diary. All right. We can't integrate a calendar and update that instantly when something happens. We can't integrate our email so that we can go to one place to access our emails. We can't, very quickly change our curriculum and outcomes and things like that as they occur. All right. We cannot do that when it comes to a physical teacher diary. Okay, our next reason, one that I have talked about and one that I absolutely agree with, a physical diary reduces paper use and clutter. Okay, I am very big on trying to minimize and reduce that amount of paper. And obviously, if we're using a digital diary, we don't need to worry about that because we are using something digitally based. Okay, if we have a look at a physical diary, okay, yes, they're tangible, they're tactile, all right. They don't rely on tech, which could be a big benefit, especially if you're in a low tech school or you have very unreliable access to internet or data and things like that. A physical diary could be very beneficial. All right. So, definitely not saying that one is better than the other, but they both definitely have reasons for and against each other. Excuse me. All right, and my last reason, okay, for a digital diary is that it does require a device and internet connection. We've just talked about this for most of those applications, all right? So it is something that you do need to be mindful of, is that you do need some kind of device. Most of us in our schools and settings are provided with a laptop or a Chromebook or some kind of tablet or iPad, so we should have access to this. Again, maybe we don't have access to that particular application. If it is an app itself or that particular website, it might not be available in our particular area. So you do need to be mindful of that. And again, for most of these, we do need an internet connection, all right? And we need a good internet connection to make sure that we can access this when we need it, okay, as we need it, etc. On the other hand, though, when it comes to a physical diary, it always will be there. It will always work for you. You'll be able to open it. You'll be able to write down. You'll be able to highlight, pop in sticky notes. You'll always be able to do this as long as you have that diary with you. It doesn't require power. It doesn't require some form of connection, which is fantastic. So it will always be there for you. All right. So there's just a number of different reasons for and against both digital and physical teacher diaries and planners. As I've mentioned, and I really want to emphasize this, I am not saying that one is better than the other. All right. I am not saying that. I am just wanting to provide you with the information so that you can make a judgment. Yes, I am using a digital diary myself, but that is my personal preference. I find it easier. I find a digital diary beneficial and more effective for me. I am not saying that if you're over here in the physical diary column, that any of these reasons here aren't actually valid. All right. I'm saying that they probably absolutely are, especially if you like that tangible, tactile feel of a diary. If you like the fact that you can always write and highlight in the diary, that is perfect for you. But I just want you to think about what you could do if you would like to explore a digital diary. And this is probably what I would say. I would say have a go. Maybe try it for a term or a semester. See what happens, see whether you like it, and see if it's something that you might like to continue with in the future.